Hi there, I'm Jay, and I'm glad you found me. The COVID-19 pandemic is unprecedented. Some of the news stories are horrific, they're heartbreaking, and at the moment, there are very few bright spots as the numbers in many areas are still climbing. So many of us are at home and afraid, but we're all in this together. Well, virtually we're in this together. So take a deep breath. Let's review the 7 steps for coping and overcoming fear and panic. Here we go. By now, we all know about this infectious virus. We know the symptoms, and we know how it spreads by being in close contact with one another. And we also know that the vast majority of people infected with the virus indeed recover. And we also know that we're social creatures, so it makes all this quite scary. Okay, so you're at home, you're isolated, and you've changed your behavior. You're safe, meaning you're not exposed to the virus or you're recovering in isolation. Now, the fear that drove you to change your behavior and isolate is real, and only that fear is real. And it did its job. You're isolated, right? You've listened to the experts and followed instructions, and now you're doing your part to prevent the spread. That's fear's real job, to keep us safe in a genuinely dire situation. But unfortunately, our minds create a second kind of fear. And this fear feels just as real, but it isn't real at all. The second kind of fear is when your imagination latches onto the real fear and it magnifies it, it distorts it, or it personalizes it. It uses what-if scenarios and even hops to other areas of your life. The what-if fear voice in your head is not real fear. It's imagined. How do I know? Because any what-if scenario doesn't live in the present. It can only live in the future, and therefore it can only be imagined. Here are a couple of tips. Number 1, know your enemy. The enemy is fear itself. I mean the actual feeling of being afraid. In order for fear to really get to you, it must have a story. And inner stories, doubt, and uncertainty together grow fear. Are you getting this? We all have fear. Replaying those imaginary what-if inner stories grow the fear. Last year, your inner story may have been one of doom and gloom having something to do with a deteriorating environment where the greenhouse gases are on the rise. But guess what? Because of the sudden change in behavior to contain the virus, air quality has improved around the globe. Air pollution and CO2 levels have fallen dramatically. The point here is that we just don't know. We can only assume it will work out for the best in ways that we have no way of predicting. Can you appreciate how the little fear enemy inside you jumped from climate issues to virus issues, or maybe from one particular thing to another? Are you also able to separate the feeling of fear with the story that goes along with it? Can you separate those two? Can you see how the feeling might remain, but the story changes? This part is crucial to understand because there's fear in each of us. We just want to make sure that we're not feeding it and growing it. If you're having trouble separating the story from the feeling, then think back in your memory bank about all the different stories that you've connected with the feeling of fear. You'll realize that the feeling of fear is enduring, whereas the stories in your head are always changing. They're keeping it alive, so to speak. Number 2, disengage with your thoughts. When a scary what if pops up, replace it with a, well, what if it works out just fine, which is equally as probable. If you're a pragmatic person, remind yourself that worrying about a future what if has no utility. It's not productive and it doesn't really make any difference. You can also answer the what if emphatically by saying, so what? Number 3, stand tall in the face of fear. Fear uses doubt and uncertainty along with a story as its primary tools. Take a moment then to counter by projecting your own inner confidence and power. Stand up tall and strong and acknowledge, I have strength and power. I have resilience. I also have positivity. I've shown these qualities before, I'm showing them now, and I'll show them again. Number 4, allow the fearful feelings to pass through you. Now this may sound counterintuitive because we're used to shielding ourselves from the fear, but that's just the point. The more you try to block fear or create barriers to it, the stronger it pushes back. You outsmart fear by surrendering, allowing it to pass through you. You must also realize that this isn't a trick or a hack that works once and then you're done. You must adopt a personal policy about how you handle fear and stick with it no matter how long it takes. Fear doesn't just disappear, it fades out over a long period of time. Think of it this way: when there's no fight, no inner fight, and there's no inner drama, fear gets bored and moves on. Number 5, keep this in mind. We're all in this together. You have a scary what-if voice in your head, and so do your neighbors, millions of us. And together, we're strong. We're resilient. I have faith in you. You have faith in me. The idea that we will all get through this together becomes the focus. And then you allow the fearful feelings to just pass through you. During this process, don't engage with your thoughts, but rather watch the fear, just watch it evaporate. Just like you can picture you have a spotlight and you're moving the spotlight onto the fear, almost as if it were a shadow, it just disappears. Number 6, look for the gift. We've all been taken out of our routine. We're forced to make adjustments. Most of us are stuck at home. Where's the gift? Maybe you have time to clean your windows. Maybe you've been wanting to do some creative writing or learn more about history, work on your sketch art, or reach out to your old friends from high school. This situation is creating a gift for you. Where is that gift? Let go of looking at fearful stories and look for the new gift and then act on it. Write a comment down below and let us know what your new gift is and how you turned off the news and went to it. Number 7, speak words of confidence. Lastly, when you do feel a little glimmer of hope, a bit of confidence, when you find that little hidden gift, this part is important, when you're truly feeling it. Repeat these words. Today, I am growing more confident it will all work out. Today, I am growing more confident that it will all work out. Words are powerful, and these words can be quite prophetic. Thanks for watching. Share this video with anyone you feel it might help, and please hit subscribe along with the little bell so you can be notified of uplifting and helpful videos just like this one. And don't forget to share your comments about your gift below in the comments. I'm out.